This is the tender's station. They said it's not working. I can smell like a burnt smell coming from around the compressor area, so I don't know if it's this motor or if it's the actual compressor itself. We'll slide it out and take a look at it here. Hard to say if it's burnt or not. So I got it kind of pulled out so I can actually see the wiring. We're gonna check the capacitor here quick. 243 to 229. Put our meter into search mode, which does microfarads. 266. So that's right between our two set points. So I think the capacitor is actually fine. It does look a little discolored here, but I don't think it's actually burnt. So now we'll do an amp draw test. We're gonna check right here, right in front of the compressor. I do see some heating a little bit there, but I don't know. It is at a slight angle, but oh, okay. See that sparkling? So we're gonna use a 3-in-1 start kit. This one does 1/12, 1/10, 1/8, 1/6, or 1/5. And I think that we actually have a 1/2, so we're gonna wanna go a little bigger. This is a hard start kit. We don't need that. That just boosts boosts the amount of power the compressor can output. Here's a 3-in-1. I sometimes use this one for testing compressors. This one does 1/4 or 1/3. So it's the next size up from this one. It's probably going to be one of these two. Good to carry stuff in your truck, but you can't carry everything, especially when you drive a tiny one like mine. So it doesn't tell us the horsepower on there. Hopefully it'll say it on the top of the compressor. So I looked it up in Tecumseh and it is a 1/5, so this one's gonna work for us. So we're just gonna remove all of the old start components and add this thing. That's completely burnt to pieces. Normally this all just pulls off here in one piece, but there we go. So yeah, you can see that relay just absolutely melted to pieces. So hopefully, and the wiring too. Looks like the pins are still okay. So here's your wiring diagram. We've got common is the top middle terminal, start is the bottom left, and run is the right. And white is start, black is common, and red is run. And then we just have our incoming power on these two black wires right here. It actually doesn't matter which one's line or which one's neutral, so we'll just hook those up to the wires there. And then we'll have to hook up this fan motor as well. We're not going to use these terminal blocks. We'll just cut these off and wire nut everything together. Why don't we plug all this in first? So here's run. The pins are actually still looking really clean, which is good. Common. And start. Like that. So now we'll just remove all of our bad components. We'll put this meter back on and measure the amp draw when it starts up. Should be around 7 amps. Nice. Beautiful. So the compressor seems to have started just fine now. Condenser's running. We'll unplug the unit again here and get everything bolted back down. Obviously I had to remove some bolts and some screws to get that filter rack and stuff out of here. Get that scooted back where it needs to be, and then we'll start it up. So there we are, everything is re-secured. The suction line, or liquid line rather, is nice and hot. And this is just starting to get cold coming back. So I think we're gonna be good to go on this one. It's nice that we were able to flex that around. I can see this compressor has been replaced once before. See, it has service ports. I don't think there's any need to check the actual refrigerant level because it feels like it's running good. This thing is running 404A. I decided to just check it quick. But evaporator's running around 0 degrees, and they want their product to be like just almost frozen on the edges. So that's perfect. It's not really a cooler, not really a freezer. It's like a temporary product holder where it just has ice on the sidewalls and keeps their product so that it's like right, just barely above freezing. So here's a better look at some of those failed components. This is what actually really went bad. The start relay. So this is supposed to let this capacitor be in the circuit when the compressor initially starts, but then it's supposed to disconnect it. And then this is a limit switch, and if the compressor is drawing too high of an amperage, this will heat up inside there and it'll open, and then after a certain amount of time it'll cool off again, reclose, and the compressor can try starting again. Sometimes these will get tripped if you are running the compressor and then you unplug it and then plug it back in immediately, because it'll have a really high head pressure, and that high head pressure will just be too much for the compressor to really overcome. So we will just let all that go bye-bye.